Alright, in this video we are going to see how to create this product slider. Consider this image as unique product, and now you can see you can slide between the left and right. Once it reaches to the extreme end, you'll see the the navigation button got hidden. So in other word, we have given the opacity with 0.2. So once it reaches to the extreme end, or once it reaches to the extreme right, the button gets hidden. So here, this is what we are going to see in this tutorial. To follow along, I have left the source code in the description. It's a Google Drive link. In case if you got stuck somewhere, you can just copy paste it and start along with me. So in the Google Docs links, you will see three files: HTML, CSS and JavaScript, which is required to make this project run. So let's create everything from scratch. So we need an index file, HTML file. I'm going to name this as index2.html. Why I have given the suffix 2? It is because we are in the same folder. To avoid the name conflict, I have given index2. The same way we need to create a style sheet. You can give any name. I'm going to stick with the name called style2.css. Again, to avoid name conflict, I have appended 2. Now again, let's create a script file, script2.js. The extension is important. You can give any name as you wish. Exclamatory tab will create a boilerplate HTML code for you. Let's link the style sheet link, which is style2.css. It is recommended to link the script tag at the bottom, which is script2.js for our. And if you notice, I have used the font awesome icon, the left and right arrow. So for that, I need the CDN. You can download it you can get it from the internet. To save time, I'm just copy pasting it. It is always recommended to have the font awesome whatever CDN just below our custom CSS. So in the custom CSS, I'm making for all the element padding 0 and margin 0, and giving the border box sizing border box. So that means your margin and padding will be counted as the height and width of a div. So in case if you don't understand, just Google it, you will get better understanding. So it is required to start our HTML. So this 3 lines is required to start our HTML. Now let's have a container. Inside the container, we'll be having an image holder div. So what happens is, consider this is a image holder div. The width of 1200 pixel and height of 400. And inside the image holder, we'll be having inside holder. So this inside holder div will actually have the double the height of the container. If suppose the height of the container is 1200, so inside div will have the height of width of, I'm talking about width, not the height. So let me just show you the inspect. And so if you see, if I hover on the container, you will see the a tooltip appearing in this section. So I have given the image holder width of 1200 and height of 300. So the same way, if I hover it on the inside holder, you'll see the width is double the width of the container. It is because, if I click on this, you'll see the other part shows up. If I click on the left side, the first part shows up. So that's why I have. So this is, if this is 1200 and this is going to be 2400, it's the double of this one. And now we'll have an image div. Let's call the image, which is in the image folder, image1.jpg. Now we just need to copy this sometimes 2 3 4 5 6. So just to save time, let me just copy paste the HTML. So the image holder is the first children, and the second child is the previous button, and the third child is the next button, which have a common class nav. So this is the HTML, index2.html. This is how it looks like. So body, inside the body we have container. Inside the container we have image holder. Inside image holder we have inside holder, inside holder, inside holder. Let me copy paste it. Sorry. Then we have image tag, image class. Then we have image tag. it's actually plural images. And as a second children we have nav class, and in the nav we have the first one is previous, the second one is next. Nav with class previous, nav with class next. Now this is required to avoid name conflict, CSS conflict. So let me give the background color as black. Whatever is there I want to give at the center, display flex, align item center, justify content center. Align item will vertically align and justify content will horizontally align the content to the center. In order for the align item to work, we need to give the height. So I'm giving the 100% of viewport height. Viewport height is nothing but the browser stream. So it's not a class, I'm sorry for that, it's a HTML tag. Copy this, replace this the dot, it's there an HTML tag. Cool. Now the image holder will have, actually again image holder is a spelling mistake. Replace this. Cool. Image holder will have a width of 1200 pixel and height of 300 pixel, which is same as the height of the image. And whatever is there I don't want to see, so overflow hidden, so it's gone. So just for now let me just comment this and show you. So inside holder I don't want the image one below the other, I want it to be vertically aligned. So display flex will do the work. Side by side, you got the side by side. Now the same way this will have width the twice of the container, so width 200%. Cool, you got it. Now if I make this overflow hidden, it would work. Cool. And I think we have properly added the size of the height and width, so we don't have to style this. So that means I know the image width is 400 and the height is 300. So if the 400 plus 400 plus 400 is 1200, that's the reason I have given 1200. So that's how the image has fitted properly in this grid. So now I'm going to give position absolute to the nav bar so that it will show off here. So for that whenever we use position absolute, we need the container to have position relative. Now position absolute, so this is a common class, so this position absolute will be applied to both of them. So top of 50% transform translate y-axis minus 50%. So now it will be at the center. So before that let me just style this. Let me give a background color as white and height as 30 pixel, width as 30 pixel. So this is how it looks. So I want the icon to be at the center, so display flex, align item center and justify content center. So instead of this I can make this 50% width and height, and I want it to be it acts as a circle, so border radius 50%. So if you don't make this 50%, it won't be a perfect circle. So now you can give the previous will have left of 0% and the right will have, the next will have right of 0%. And instead of 0%, let's just make this act as a overlapping on the image, so -2 will work. So when I hover on it, I want the cursor to be pointer. So when I hover on it, the cursor is pointer now. So the CSS part is done. Let's work on the JavaScript part. So I want the width of the main container. So document dot query selector, the main container width is, which is 1200, which is this one, and the full width is inside holder. So we need to get the width of the main container. So we don't need, we can directly give 1200, or in other word, container width, we can get it using the JavaScript property called get bounding box, get bounding client rect, and we need width. So let me just console and check it. Console.log. So on page load you will see the 1200 because we have given the CSS 1200, that's what we got. So now when I click on the button next, document dot query selector, when I get the button next and attach a event which is a click event. So when I click on it, I want the what do you call, I want the inside slider to scroll left to the width of the container. Let's just try. So there was a little confusion. So the image holder will get, we need to get the total container width which is 2400, and we need to pass it over here. So you can see there's a quick moment to avoid that. You need to give, this is going to get scrolled. You need to know which is going to get scrolled. Scrolling behavior, scroll smooth. So you can see it's working. The same way, copy this. This time it is going to be previous and decrement the value. So it's working. So once I click on the next, I want the set timeout to run, or directly this will have the opacity, style dot opacity equal to 0.2. So it's gone. The same way, once I click on preview, it should get the opacity. So by default, when the page loads, I want the previous to be hidden. So you can see it's hidden now. So if I click on next, once I click on next, the next button should get hidden, but the previous button should show up. The same way, when I click on preview previous button, the previous button should get hidden, but the next should show up. Cool, by default it's hidden. So if I click on next, it is hidden and the next one shows up. The same way it's working. So I hope the scope of this video is done. Thank you so much for listening.